Digging deep, clearing out. The world and cosmology are shifting and changing so fast these days. It's important to keep up. Whether you're into the eclipse season or not, this is the time to rise up into your highest calling. But in order to do that, you're going to need to clear first. Rising up. You know, the universe has a divine plan, and we are all just playing our own parts in it. Some of us are attuned to what is transpiring by the manner in which we pay attention to what's going on within us and outside of us. Others, the majority, are completely clueless, and that's okay. They will come around in their own time. Not everyone has the capacity to see the big picture, and nor do they want to. But if you're one of my listeners, it's likely you have already developed big picture vision during the years of your life, and some of that has come from doing your own inner work, and some of that has come from a burning curiosity to know more, to be more than what your social and cultural constructs told you to be. And because, quite simply, on a subconscious level, you remember your spiritual origins. As I sit here on my outdoor balcony in the city of Munich, where I never imagined how much nature had a strong presence, I am listening to church bells in the distance ringing because it is 6 p.m., and accompanying those bells are all kinds of birds sitting high up in the very old and tall trees, calling out to each other. It really is a symphony. I had to turn the ambient music off in my living room just so I could sit out here and write to you with these accompanying, very elevating sounds. I sometimes wonder if God designed birdsong to lift our minds upward, and I also wonder if anyone has ever done any research on how our brains respond to these very high frequencies. In any case, I'm writing to know if you're aware of, and also to update you on what's been going on in this eclipse season, as the astrologers call it. I have followed astrology since I was a child, but only what I needed when I needed it, and that always seemed to be around relationships, understanding the other signs, what they are like, and how to work and be with them better. I have come to appreciate this knowledge so much. But with the advent of YouTube and some very qualified and gifted astrologers that share their interpretations of what's happening in the heavens, I have come to utilize this knowledge with a great deal more awareness in how I see it reflected in my daily life, specifically the internal impulses that continue to occur. I believe that the more we seek knowledge to ease our lives, the more it is given to us. This requires a certain humility, a certain surrendering to the understanding that, quote, we do not know our own best interests, as A Course in Miracles has taught me. And so just throwing up one's hands and letting go and letting God has allowed me to experience such extreme joys and moments of being that I now follow this path of surrendering to every moment. It really is divine direction to joy, now that I think about it. And hey, what a great course title that sounds like. But one thing at a time for myself here, and as it goes, it flows. With this divine direction and constant leading toward fulfillment, happiness continues. For example, I was most recently in Strasbourg, France, for a weekend getaway that I can do from here in Munich in just a few hours. It really is so enjoyable to be able to go to France and indulge in the food and the people and the culture they have there. It's quite different from the German culture, to say the least. I loved it so much there that a few weeks later, I went back again. Oh, the traditional dishes and cheese and the cathedral and the shops and the language. I feel really brushed up on my French again, and that was great. While I was walking around on the main promenade, a very clear and direct thought came to me. I'm done traveling. It wasn't my thought, but a higher thought that was delivered. It struck my mind quite strongly and clearly. Wow, I thought. I hadn't been expecting that. I thought the weekend getaways were the plan going forward. Italy, Greece, more Germany, Spain. I'm here now. I left Hawaii for this. What? No more traveling? Right. But it was so clear. I have work to do. Real work. Purposeful work. And I want to get to it. Time really is so precious. I went back to Munich in perfect peace with all of it. I know better now to follow instruction instead of arguing. That just never turns out well. Believe me, I know. This realization came just a few days before the solar eclipse. I didn't realize it then, but this was exactly the intent and impulse that this eclipse was all about. New beginnings, a shift in activities, and a tighter focus on divine purpose. I felt incredible upliftment with really clear signals and downloads about purpose in the following days. I've known this purpose for more than a decade, and I have fulfilled many parts of it. But this eclipse was all about giving us a real glimpse into our own highest calling and making it plain as day right in front of our eyes. I want you to be aware that eclipses set the tone for the next 6 months. So if you are in touch with your intuitions, spend time in meditation, or have other means of connecting with your soul, you would have received this higher knowledge and impulse regardless if you were aware of the solar eclipse or not. It came with the new moon in Aries. This is all about the birth of something new in your life, and this opened portal would have given you a glimpse of your real purpose, your own personal genius, and given half a chance, this aspect can and will affect you for the next 6 months. The seeds planted back in April will flourish and grow if we choose to stay focused and nourish our higher direction with more light. 2 weeks later, on May 6th, we had a lunar eclipse. This one was in Scorpio and caused an excavating of some really deeply held denials in the subconscious. We would have felt a lot of emotion around past programming that was still affecting us. It would have all come to the surface, to the fore, so that it could be healed and released. It's like we were given the seeds of light for our own potential 2 weeks prior, and then the radical shift to digging deep, and the next step was clearing out all the barriers against it. Isn't this how it always works? Isn't this how the universe teaches us to be in the flow? Set your sights on a desire, and the next thing you know, you're going to have to clean out your subconscious so that you clear out everything you hold against that desire. Nothing short of eclipse season whiplash, if you ask me. I hope you've had the chance to recover and have recentered yourself since the 6th. You may want to go back and look at the dates and what was happening for you then. Look at April 19th to 20th and May 5th to 6th. It's so cool. I received huge miracles on each of those days, and I am so excited to see how they will continue to unfold and expand in the next 6 months. Feel free to reach out and tell me the stories of what has been happening to you too. Energy scans. One of those miracles I received was during the lunar eclipse period and while in meditation. A massive jolt of yellow ray was delivered to transform the solar plexus and its capacity to hold more power. Wow. If you know anything about the solar plexus, it's where the center of our personal power lies. You can be very weak in there and experience a lot of people running over you all the time. Or you can be at the opposite end of the spectrum and be overly dominant of everyone and everything around you. Think of the demanding control freak as an imbalanced solar plexus. What we want to achieve is a good balance, and then once we have that, to grow that power. With the comfort of a strong beam of loving yellow ray, peace comes to the center, along with a clear understanding with humility of one's value in the world. You are valuable. You are a holy child of God. What else would you be? Energy scans are something I learned as a result of my training in A Course in Miracles to, quote, pass on a holy instant to another. Shortly after this extraordinary event is complete, a clear picture comes to me in my inner vision of the status of each chakra in the person's system. The holy instant will clear all imbalances and put all the chakras in their perfect light by removing all negative shadows. This leaves the person in perfect harmony and able to move forward in their lives, having been cleared. The energy scans I do are a precursor to that, allowing people to receive an assessment prior to deciding if they want to move forward and invest in an energetic transformation session. That's where the holy instant is delivered. With this assessment, you can decide if you want to do the work yourself at home with your own access to the color rays as they are given to you, or you can opt for an energetic transformation session. 50% of what you paid for the energy scan will go toward your energetic transformation session. To learn more and read testimonials about energy scans, click the link in the description. The session should last about 30 to 45 minutes. Coaching. I currently have 2 places open for 6 months of private mentoring. This all comes with my newer availability, the higher focus on the purpose I have been given, and the joy I feel when mentoring and being alongside those that are ready to really grow themselves and step into their higher realization in this world. It doesn't matter if you have 10 years of experience or 40. If you're alive, you know something, and that something is worth teaching or mentoring others about. If you're on my list, you likely know a little more than just something, and I bet it has more value than you give yourself credit for. Joni Mitchell healed herself of polio when she was just 10 years old. Imagine the knowledge and wisdom she gained from that experience. She simply decided that she wasn't going to live the rest of her life without the use of her legs anymore, and then focused on connecting with a higher power. She got there. Joni was only 18 years old when she wrote the song The Circle Game, a song that continues to be covered to this day. The critics told her at the time that she didn't have enough life experience to write a song like that. But lo and behold, if you're healing yourself of polio, yes sirree, you do have enough life experience to understand. No matter what your age, your wisdom matters, and it's there for you to share. Here's a small quote from that song. And the seasons, they go round and round, and the painted ponies go up and down. We're captive on a carousel of time. We can't return. We can only look behind from where we came and go round and round and round in the circle game. She wrote that in 1966. As the circles of time have brought you to the solar eclipse in Aries last month to download for you a glimpse of your own genius, and the lunar eclipse this month to assist you in excavating the barriers you have built against it, let's make the most of the next 6 months and activate your contribution to the world. Email me privately, or you can read more about the 6-month Life Elevation Breakthrough at the link in the description. Much love to you all, Suzanne.